Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, August 21st. I'm your host, Kale Casey for Live at 5. You're joining us right here at the command post near Prospect, Oregon. This is a yurt. You hear generators in the background. This is a real fire camp. It's Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for joining us right here. Welcome, everybody. Please post your questions. We want to answer those throughout the morning and throughout the day. Whether you're joining us live now or whenever you have time, please post your questions. Okay, quick facts today on the fire. We did have about a 2,000 acre grow yesterday or over the last couple days since we had our infrared. That was mainly in that special interest area where the fire's been moving on its own for the Miles fire. Containment did go up 1 percentage point. And then we had about a 600 acre growth on the Columbus fire as it moves in this area right here. You can see on the map towards that special interest area again. Containment stays the same for Snowshoe and Round Top, still 100% contained, no change there. Personnel 1,324 total. And here are the highlights for today that we'll cover in more detail. A change in evacuation levels. We'll also cover the hold that's going to go on today on the 6640 road. We're going to look at some of the fire history on the map today. We're going to give you a new email address and phone number since we had a little change yesterday. And we're going to give you a little explanation about what we do to monitor some of these areas that are already 100% contained. Okay, the best news. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office yesterday dropped the evacuation levels at 6 p.m. from a level 2 to a level 1. So all these areas that were in level 2 went down to a level 1. Let's wind back to July 15th. There was a peppering of lightning that came through in the morning. There were 40 new fires that were started. The incident management team of Northwest 6 Sheldon's team came in here on the 17th, and on the 18th, they had 25 fires that they were managing. Of those 25 fires, there are only 3 that got over 50 acres, and here are a few of them. They managed these as hard as they could to keep the fire out of the structures. Oregon Department of Forestry came in, Oregon State Fire Marshals came in. Firefighters have been working since July 17th, around the clock, 24/7, doing all the hard work of bringing fire down to these lines, mopping up and patrolling, and now, all these days later, level 1 drop is a big deal. We really appreciate everybody's patience. We appreciate the hard work of all the firefighters who've been out there for the last month, and all the firefighters who are out there right now on night shift, continuing this effort. Good work, everybody. Okay, holding the fire in the 6640 road. This is the special interest area. The Cow Creek Band of the tribe of the Umpqua Indians has a special interest in here. There's also a very special species, botanical species, biodiversity area, and so there's been the hope to keep the fire severity in here lower. We also have the values of risk of Prospect and this whole entire area and the private lands off to the east. So the containment line is going to be the 6640 road. That's all prepared. I've got it hash marked here so you can see the outer layer. It ties right into the 2017 Broken Arrow Scar. Today's winds are favorable, coming from the east, and so by the afternoon, if those winds stay coming from the east, firefighters will light 3 miles of line here, and they'll be supported by surge resources that'll come up from the other areas of the fire where it's more contained and in much more mop up and hold mode, and they'll surge into here. They'll use helicopter bucket ships, and we'll get this burn going so we can secure and lock off this eastern edge. That's a real important piece of business for us, to secure Prospect and all these private lands and try to reduce the severity of the fire in the special interest area. Now, that'll take about 2 to 3 days, and so we'll keep you posted. If the winds don't materialize from the east, that will be delayed, of course. We want to have the wind push the fire off our burn line so we can get that nice secure edge. On the west side, this is all prepped, and so with the east wind today, this will just be another day of watching this side. We have to wait for a couple more days for the wind to shift around, so we're gonna mop up here, but then we can hopefully burn off this edge and secure the west side. Okay, we want to definitely thank our mapping team for getting us this product this morning. We wanted to show you the 2015 Whiskey Fire Scar right here to the west of Columbus, and the 2017 Broken Arrow Fire Scar to the east of Columbus. By having these fire scars on here, you can tell that this area has had fuel reduced from these fires, which means there's basically no fuel here that's receptive to new fire growth. That's what's been holding this Columbus fire on the east and west, and it's what's also been limiting the growth in this direction. So once we get this line taken care of and this line taken care of, pretty much all the rest of the fire is in great shape. You'll see these maps on our website. I already put one up at 4:15 a.m. You'll see them on InciWeb. you'll see them out on the signboards in town on our normal trap line, all up and down the different towns in the area here. Okay, we had a little bit of an unexpected change yesterday. We are at a yurt camp here. There's generators operating this. We have Wi-Fi that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So we want to ask you for, if you didn't get a normal update in your email, we had to make a quick change yesterday, and we added a new email, South Umpqua Complex 2018 at Gmail. We also had to switch out a phone number. Sometimes that happens when you rely on technology. So here's a hardline number now, 560-3374. That reaches us right here in the yurt. And always as a backup, we want to remind you that the Joint Information Center that's down in Grants Pass, Oregon, anytime there's significant fire activity in Southern Oregon, they open up a Joint Information Center. That number is 541-474-5305. So that's kind of your backup number in case something at these yurts happens. Now, firefighters are flexible, we're resilient, we're can-do people, so we don't get phased that much when something goes wrong, like our feed dropped out at 8 minutes yesterday. We apologize for that. We get right back up, we figure out how to improve things, and we always have an alternative plan. So here we have some new numbers, new contact for you. We want you to stay in touch with us. Let us know what you need. We also want to let you know, as we shift resources around, as we surge to accomplish certain missions, that we do still have a very rigorous way of patrolling the areas we've already worked in. We posted a video last night of the Palm IR camera work that the crews have been using in these areas where the fire had some activity later in the fire progression, and that there's still some hot spots around, that they're looking on the ground with these infrared cameras to secure them. They do patrol these areas even as they reduce the firefighting effort and move that to actually areas where we need a secure line. For example, for the snowshoe, we've had some reports of interior smoke. You can expect that for weeks and if not months until the season-ending events of rain and snow. But we do monitor that by both air, and we have a patrol that goes out maybe on the every other day right now as needed to just check that cold edge, but it's been 100% contained for days. And so we want to give you that assurance that as we shift resources around, we never lose our focus on your assets at risk, your houses, your communities, your infrastructure. We know what we're here to do. We're here to make sure you get through this long season. The level 2s have been reduced to level 1s, but you're still going to see hose lays. You're still going to hear chainsaws. We're mitigating hazard trees out there, green trees that have weakened, fire trees that are falling. So you're going to hear chainsaws. You're going to see hose. There's still miles and miles of hose, probably up to 100 miles of hose lays out there. Some are in place just to continue mopping up. Some will be hauled back by the crews to get in the system and out to other parts of the state or Washington or California. So you'll see a presence in there. We just want to let you know we never take our eyes off the prize, but we will be continually downsizing to make sure that we have the right amount of firefighting forces here to support our efforts and also to support the nation, which is very busy right now. Okay, let's talk about our ops briefing today. So on the southern area, we just told you we're in that mop up and patrol mode here. As we go around to the west, that indirect line off the 29-25 road, that's all prepared. We're just waiting for the right winds in a couple days so we can secure this western edge using this 2015 fire scar. The entire northern end of Columbus is in patrol mode. Obviously, this is the heat area where it's been moving into that special interest area. And now that the fire activity picked up yesterday, we're going to make sure that we secure all the assets on the east side and the community of Prospect by trying to light that 6640 road today, if possible. On the east side of the miles, again, we're in mop-up mode. We're pulling hose. We're looking at opportunities to repair, to backhaul, to bring in the pumps, bring in the equipment that's out there not being used anymore, get it back in the system. And again, we're using the handheld Palm IR, and look at that video from last night. We might even repost that today. It's a very cool piece of equipment. We also do have aerial supervision, and I know that we've put in a request for some more technology. We'll see if it comes to help us look through some of this smoke over the next couple days as the smoke moves back and forth. We want to thank you again for all the signs out there. We want to thank you for donating to your local fire departments. They're the ones who need the support. We have really good camp support both here and at Milo with all of our food needs met and everything. If you want to do the donation side, we really recommend you look at the Wildland Firefighters Foundation. That's the immediate response for any firefighter that gets hurt. Post your questions. Visit us on the trap lines. We have trap lines that go all the way up from Union Creek and all the way up to Candonville and down to Shady Cove and all around the fire affected area here. We post online. We posted, the JIC actually posts our information to the Joint Information Center. Thanks for neighbors helping neighbors. And let's look at two of our watch out and standard firefighting orders. We'll look at number 3 of both. So standard firefighting order number 3, base all your actions on current and expected behavior of the fire. We know that there's increased fire activity. We know it's going to eventually push our line. We're going to go ahead and take action. When watch out number 3, safety zones and escape routes not identified. So as the crew's working here, that's an awful long piece of line to work on. It's going to take an awful lot of work. They're going to have all their different systems in place before they can engage. Lookouts, communications, escape routes, and safety zones. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back live again 5 a.m. tomorrow. And post your questions here. We'll look forward to answering them throughout the day. Thank you.